Hi everyone, in this video we are going to solve a famous maths puzzle that became very popular online. At first glance, it looks a bit confusing, but once we organize the information carefully, the solution becomes much simpler than it first appears. We have two diagrams. In the first diagram, the dog is standing on the table, while the bird is on the ground. The vertical distance between the top of the dog and the top of the bird is 170 centimeters. In the second diagram, the positions are reversed. Now the bird is on the table and the dog is on the ground. This time, the vertical distance between them is 130 centimeters. The question is, how tall is the table? Pause the video for a moment if you want to try it yourself first. We are going to solve this puzzle in two different ways. First, we will use a visual approach. Then, we will solve the same problem algebraically. Let's start with the visual method. Imagine taking the second diagram and placing it on top of the first one. We align the base of the upper table with the top surface of the lower table, as if one table were standing directly on top of the other. After stacking the diagrams, we can measure the total vertical distance from the bird at the top to the bird at the bottom. From the first diagram, we have 170 centimeters. From the second diagram, we have 130 centimeters. So together, we get 170 plus 130, which is 300 centimeters. Now, we do not want the distance from the bird at the bottom to the bird at the top. We want to find the height of the table. At the moment, our measurement starts at the head of the lower bird and ends at the head of the upper bird. But the distance from the top of the table to the head of the upper bird is exactly the same as the distance from the ground to the head of the lower bird, because both represent the height of the bird. So we can shift our measurement downward by the height of one bird. If we lower the starting point by that amount, the ending point also lowers by the same amount. So the total distance stays exactly the same, and now, the 300 centimeters represents the combined height of the two tables. Since the two tables are identical, each table must have half of that height. 300 divided by 2 is 150, so the height of the table is 150 centimeters. So this was the visual solution. And now, as promised at the beginning of the video, let's look at the algebraic method to solve the same problem. For this method, we need to introduce some variables. Let d be the height of the dog, t be the height of the table, and b be the height of the bird. Now let's look at the first diagram. The height of the dog plus the height of the table is equal to 170 plus the height of the bird. So we can write d plus t is equal to 170 plus b. Now we move all the variables to the left-hand side of the equation by subtracting b from both sides. So we get d plus t minus b is equal to 170. So this is the first equation we can use. Now let's look at the second diagram. This time, the height of the bird plus the height of the table is equal to 130 plus the height of the dog. So we can write b plus t is equal to 130 plus d. Again, we move all the variables to the left-hand side by subtracting d from both sides. So we get b plus t minus d is equal to 130. So this is the second equation we can use. At this point, we have three variables, d, t, and b. So if we wanted to solve the whole system and find all three values, we would normally need three equations. But in this problem, we are not trying to find the height of the dog or the height of the bird. We only want to find the height of the table. And if we look carefully at the two equations, we can eliminate the other two variables. In the first equation, we have plus d. In the second equation, we have minus d. So the dog terms have opposite signs. Also, in the first equation, we have minus b. And in the second equation, we have plus b. So the bird terms have opposite signs as well. This means that if we add the two equations together, both d and b will cancel out. Let's add them. D minus d cancels out. Minus b plus b cancels out. T plus t gives 2t, and 170 plus 130 gives 300. So we get 2t is equal to 300. Now we divide both sides by 2. T is equal to 150. So the height of the table is 150 centimeters. I hope you enjoyed this maths puzzle. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.